We were playing 6 games. We had just got done with our 6th game in Topeka, Kansas. And I remember one of the seniors were saying that we should play each game like it's our last because we never know when it's going to be taken away from us. Little did we know, in just less than a week, we were planning a trip to go to Florida for our spring trip. And instead of going into the field house for practice, our coach told us to go into the classroom. And we had known about the pandemic going on and how it first started, and we weren't sure if it was going to affect us. We all thought that maybe we'll be able to take the spring trip and then we'll see how things go. But I remember there were talks about it. We were receiving emails from the chancellor, from the dean, and I remember when Coach Pufall told us that we were going to the classroom instead of the field house when it came time to our practice. We knew that it was bad.
We knew things were going to be a little different. So we spent the rest of spring 2020 online, no human interaction essentially. It was either who you lived with or your family. That's all you saw. That was really hard on my team and everyone around us because, like I said before, we thrive on being together. So it was really hard not being together. When
Coach Pufall started sending out some Zoom meetings and just wanted to check in with everyone as a group, the first thing he would always ask us, how's everyone doing? Is everyone okay? And some guys are, yeah, we're doing good, and other guys, yeah, it's not the best, and other guys go, yeah, this just isn't going well. What Coach would try to do is say, all right, is there anything that I can do for you? Is there anything that the team can do for you? Is there any resources that you need that we can help you with? And Coach Pufall definitely helped us out a lot. I think Coach Pufall did a great job of making sure that guys were still doing okay, and he was doing everything in his power to make sure that we were staying positive and making sure that, if we needed help, that we would get it right away.
Because I think everyone processed the information different and everyone was handling it differently. And in many ways, it was a grieving process, and each player was kind of at their own stages of the grieving process. So to bring them together collectively and make assumptions or talk broadly about where 5 or 6 players were at, it would have felt disingenuous to some of the other players that were at a different point in their process. So it was definitely much more one-on-one through texts or phone calls or some emails and things like that.
As an athlete, we tend to identify ourselves with our sport and what we do. So having that kind of ripped away from us on no choice of our own took a toll. I think the biggest thing that helped us not let that toll become too much was just honest communication between my team. Our coach was phenomenal at this and allowed us to have spaces where we could have these conversations. And if it was crying because we were just sick and tired of everything we had that was going on, that we couldn't control anything, or if it was just we wanted to laugh and giggle about just the silly things that were happening and self-isolation and things like that. There's times where it was harder than others to take care of our teammates and take care of ourselves in all of this, but we just knew we had a bigger purpose, that we got to take care of each other in order to keep going and be able to play.
But what I found is what they needed most was just support systems, just, knowing that their coaching staff was checking in on them. And that felt like one of the most important pieces to me, is that they knew that they weren't alone in that sense of uncertainty. They really were a support system for each other. I really found that when a player was going through a tough time, they always had somebody else on the team that they could lean on. And to know that they could see those people, that they could spend a couple hours a week together in a space where each of them could be their true authentic self, I think was so important.
We really worked on if you just need someone to talk to, that's okay. Go talk to them. If it's just one meeting where you need to be everything sucks, I just want to yell about it, I just want someone to listen to me. Or it's, I just want to look into these services, see what they can do for us. Our team really was do what you have to do to get better. We're going to support you in any way. If it means you need to spend an hour a week talking to someone, please do that.
Then we weren't doing so well when it came to mental health. Guys were definitely very upset. A lot of guys started to really deteriorate. And, you know, it was hard to see. And it was especially the guys who have been in the program for a long time. But fast forward to a year later, I think that guys have made significant strides. Guys have really been able to get back up to where they're supposed to be. They've received the help that they need. And, you know, there are a lot of good resources out there for anyone who's going through this right now.
There was definitely an uptick in our players' conversation and their comments regarding anxiety and depression, as I think there was for the rest of the population. So just to have someone that they could talk to, a coach, a mentor that they could talk to and go to with those emotions, and then with that sense of uncertainty and unknowns, I think was really important. It gave me an opportunity to get to know them on a deeper level and provide that support, provide them with resources. But a lot of times it was just a listening ear. It was just a sense that you're not alone in this, that many others are experiencing those same things. And while there's so many hardships right now, while things feel endless to a degree, and the future seems so uncertain, there's so many things that we also are so grateful for. That time together, the ability to laugh together.
We have this mantra, it's like, give what you can give. So if you got 60% of your 100 that day, give that. Give all of your 60%. Say my percent that day was 80% of what I had. 80% of my 100, and I gave all 80%. It's not my job to go to them and to make them feel bad that day you only had 60% to give to practice. It's my day, it's my job as a teammate and as one of their family members on this team, is to look at them and be like, I'm so happy that you could give us everything you had today. Thank you for being there, doing what you could. Because there's days we only got what we got, and you get to practice at the end of the night and you're like, I don't got a lot of engine to run on. I can't, as a teammate, or none of my teammates can go and judge them, because that's all they have left to give. All we can do is support, love them, and push, maybe even push them to push harder. We're gonna push to what we think they can handle. I'm not gonna push you to a point where you're gonna burn out, because we need everyone on our team. We need everyone to be happy, healthy, and play. I can't ask for more than what they can give me. Not like and my teammates wouldn't ask more of me than I can give.
Some of the tools and some of the resources that we had put in place early for our players, definitely for the upperclassmen, I think they were able to lean on those on campus, whether it was the Pruitt Center or some of the mindfulness activities that we've done. And truly, I really think it's just our upperclassmen and the culture and the environment that has been built over the years, where players know that when they come in and they're part of Yellow Jacket baseball, that part of that means helping each other and taking care of their teammates. So I really think it was groundwork that was laid years before the pandemic hit, where they are a close-knit team, and then they know that that is important to both their success on the baseball field, but their success in the classroom and their success once they leave Superior, that it is going to be something that they can rely on, and peers and colleagues that they can rely on to be successful and get to where they want to be, pandemic or not.